So, a very good morning to all of you. Hope you are all fine at your places. So, as we have already discussed about the switchgear and protection, and I remember in my last lecture we were discussed about what do you mean by this protection and what are the various protection devices, or you can say that which type of equipments or some like we are have to be protected. I remember we were discussed that in case of generating station, in case of grid station, as well as in case of substation, basically what we have to do, there are n number of elements to be present there, and all these n number of elements, like we have generator, transformer, bus bars, so we have to protect it against fault. So for protection of these equipments, we are required certain protection equipments, and in this protection devices, we were discussed about the protection devices. Your in your syllabus, your unit number 1 is basically only the introduction part, and introduction. What do you mean by this switchgear and protection, and what are the various components that you have to be protect, and how these equipments can be protected. And in further syllabus of the further units, you have to cover the particular type of protection devices, like you have to discuss the relay, you have to discuss about you can say that circuit breakers, you have to discuss about isolators and CTs and PTs. So now we would like to see in your first section only, we are discussed about only and only the introductory part, where we can cover subtopics like something just a minute. We are discussed about certain devices, like how you can protect our devices against the fault conditions. So in the last lecture, I will discuss with you like relay, what do you mean by this relay, and what is to mean by CT, and what do you mean by PT. Now to the continuation this part for today's lecture, we will discuss that generator. You all know what do you mean by this generator. A generator is an electrical machine that converts the mechanical energy into the electrical energy. The figure shows basically one schematic diagram. Figure show one. Just a minute, Buddha. So in this figure, it is basically the schematic diagram of generating station, and from this thing you can see this is the schematic diagram of hydroelectric power station, because you can see at the bottom of the end you have a turbine blades, and these turbine blades we have a wicket gates, and wicket gates we have a turbine, and after that the turbine is coupled with the generator shaft, and at the top of the we have a generator, and this generator is basically an AC generator. So here you have the stator winding as well as the rotor winding. So you all know that this generator is one of the most important element in case of hydroelectric power station, and without this generator it is not possible for us to generate electricity. If you have to generate the electricity in case of hydroelectric power plant, we are using the water turbine that will be coupled with the generator, and hence when the turbine starts rotating, it will tends to start rotate the generator, and ultimately your generator will start rotating. And according to the Faraday laws of electromagnetic induction, whenever there is change in the magnetic flux, an EMF is induced. So based upon this principle, your generator will work, and ultimately this generator can generate an electricity. But if you use the same type of generator in case of thermal power plant, so only difference is that thing, in case of hydroelectric power plant we are using a water turbine, but in case of thermal power plant we are using a steam turbine. Rest all the procedures will same, rest all the principle of operation will same. So I can say that this generator plays a very vital role in a generating station to generate the electricity. Now, let us suppose if there is some fault occur in the generator, and when the fault occur in the power station, and when the fault occur in the generator that are installed in the power station, the generator will will stop rotating, and hence no electricity will generate. And when there is a fault occur on the generator, and if you not remove that fault, or when the fault will occur on the generator, the quantity of the fault, the magnitude of the fault If you not know, the generator will get damaged. So in order to protect the fault in the generator, we had to adopt certain protection devices, and that protection devices are called as your generator protection devices. Okay, so you can see that what can go wrong in case of generator. Generator के केस में आपका क्या हो सकता है, कौन सा fault आ सकता है? Like you can see that in this picture, a stator of 190 MVA, 3-phase, 12 kV, 375 rotations per minute hydroelectric generator. The conductors have hollow passage through which the cooling water is cooled down. Now the question is, what do you mean by this cooling water to be circulated? Why the cooling water to be circulated? See, the stator of the generator is basically 190 MVA. So you can just imagine that it is a very huge capacity of the generator, and this huge capacity of the generator can generate the voltage level at 12 kV with a power at 190 MVA. So how much conductor, how much copper conductor is used in the stator winding? And also, you know that in case of a generator, there is a stator and the rotor part will be present. So how much amount of copper is also present in the rotor winding? So when this generator starts rotating, there are so many losses. There are so many losses appear in this generator, and all these losses are basically appear in the form of heat. So if you not extracted the heat, this heat get housed inside the stator winding, and ultimately the temperature of the winding will increase, which will affect the burning of the winding. So in order to, you can say that in order to reduce this heat, or when the generator will start rotating, the extraction of the heat can be done with the help of this cooling water. So what we have to do, inside the housing, inside the generator, there's a housing pipe, and in this housing pipe, ice cooled water will circulate it with the help of your water pumps. So the amount of heat that will be generated in the form of heat loss or ice square or loss in a stator winding or a copper winding, this heat get be extracted with the help of cooling water. So this is the pictorial, you can say that the photograph or the pictorial representation of a generator. Now, what will happen? What can go wrong in order to protect the generator? So generally, the stator winding problem. There are two types of stator winding problems occur in the generator. Number one will be winding short circuit. There will be some chances that the winding of the stator winding gets short circuit, or stator ground. So out of these two, we can say that one of the fault will occur, and when this fault will occur, your system get collapsed, your generator will not start rotating, and hence electricity will not generating. So you can see this is the picture for a stator winding problem. Here you can see the winding will get burnt off. Now here the question comes that how you protect the stator, by the virtue of which how you can protect the generator against when the stator winding gets damaged. So I can tell you in my previous lecture, we are using a relays. So what will happen? We are basically here use differential protection, and we are using about stator ground protection. Now, what do you mean by this differential protection, and what do you mean by this stator protection? That we will discuss in our next classes. That I had already tell you that in our first unit there is only an introduction part, and rest all the relays, all the circuit breakers we are discussing coming lecture. So you can see that when the stator winding of the generator gets damaged due to any of the reason, so in order to protect the stator winding, we are basically using the differential protection scheme, or we can using a stator ground protection scheme. Also, this is the part of the, you can say that the stator loss, and the same case will be happen in also in your rotor path. So when the what type of problems that will occur in the rotor part? Loss of field ground loss. So you can see this is the picture of rotor of the same generator that we can I can show you the previous slide. So this is the rotor part. See how much you can see very wide diameter of this rotor there. So there is also a lot of copper can be used in the rotor winding. So the same thing will occur in the rotor part also there, because a rotor is also consist of a lot of conductors, so there will be chances that the rotor winding get damaged. So when the stator winding will get damaged, we are providing the certain protection scheme. But when the rotor winding gets damaged, we are providing certain schemes. Like, how do we protect the rotor? Again, this is the pictorial representation of system, and we are using this type of relay, like the field ground relay is connected to the negative side of the field DC ground, detects the fault to the ground. So in this case, you can say that we can protect the generator. In addition to the stator winding damage or the rotor winding damage, there are certain abnormal conditions also occur in the generator. Like sometime over and under frequency will occur, over excitation will occur, reverse power will generate, out of step or unbalanced current. So you can see that out of these five conditions, any of the condition will occur on a generator, and this when this condition will occur on the generator, your generator will get damaged, and we have to protect these fault against the generator, so that your generator will start working, or generator will start rotating in an direction without any loss. So you can see this is the pictorial representation of your single line diagram, how the generator can be protected. So this is all about the generator protection. So quickly recap, what do you have to in case of a generator? What we are used generator, there are two type of generally faults occur. One is called as the stator fault, or another is called as the rotor fault. With the stator fault, your stator winding gets damaged, and we have to protect the generator against stator fault, and also we have to protect the generator against rotor fault. In addition to that thing, stator and the rotor, there are certain more type of faults occur in the generator, like over current, over reverse current, and all this. So we have to protect our generator among all these three types of fault. So in order to protect these three types of fault, we are generally employed the protection scheme. Okay. So in the same manner, here we have a transformer protection. Now again, a transformer is a very, very expensive device, and this transformer plays a very important role in generating part, in grid part, as well as in substation part. Because in the case of a generating part, whenever you have to generate the power, we are generating the power at a certain voltage level. With this voltage level, we are step up the power so that the losses can be reduced. So for step up the power from one voltage level to the another voltage level, we are required a step up transformer. So here you can see the step up transformers can be used in case of generating stations. Now after that, what we have to transmit this power from generating station to the grid station, and at the end of the grid station, you can receive the power at a very, very high voltage level. So for distribution purpose, what you have to do, you have to step down this power. So again, you can say that step down transformers are used in grid station, and similarly, when this power get transmitted from grid station to the substation, again we are using the transformer. So here you can see that a transformer plays a very, very important role in all the three pillars of the power system, whether it is a generating station, whether it is a transmission system, whether it is a distribution system. So similarly, like you can see, in case of a generator, there are certain faults occur, and in case of a transformer, there are also certain faults occur, and you have to protect your transformer against this fault, otherwise your transformer will get damaged. Now you can see in today's scenario, आजकल के दिनों में आप देख रहे हो कि frequently हमारे transformers जो damage हो रहे हैं. The reason being, the very, very important reason being, today's scenario that your transformer will break is your overheating, because already your outside temperature is very, very high, and in addition to that thing, you are using a power at a very, very high rate. So the temperature of the winding of the transformer is increased day by day, day by day, day by day, and when it reaches to a certain particular level, your windings will get damaged, and ultimately your transformer will get damaged. So you have to protect the transformer against this overheating. So that is why what the PDD department has done, to adopt load shedding. Load shedding means when there is a peak load, and at that time your power will be get off, switched off, or shut it down, so the transformer will get cooled down, and after a certain time again the power will be restored. So in this manner, you can say that you can protect your transformer against overheating. So this is the one, you can say that the fault occur in case of transformer, that is overheating. And there is a n number of faults occur like over voltage, over current, and we have to protect our transformer against all these faults. So for that thing we are required certain protection schemes. Like you can see, this is the construction part of the transformer. You all know, you all discussed in the machines part as well as in design part. In transformer we have a core, and this core is basically made up of, you can say that the laminated steel. Here you can see in between we have a primary winding, we have a secondary winding, and all that. So this is the construction part. So this is the pictorial representation of the one of the transformer that we can use in our generating station, grid station, or a substation. Here you can see the internal side. On the top we have the bushing, and on the extreme left hand side we have fans to be installed there. So these fans are basically used to protect the transformer overheating. When the transformer gets overheated, these fans are automatically turned on and lowers the temperature of the winding of the transformer. Okay. So here transformer size, the ampere, the capacity of the transformer is in terms of million volts. Size can be range from 1 ampere to 50 ampere and higher. Transformer amperes determine the part of cooling employed, and these are all the transformer rating. Now, what type of fault occur in the transformer? We have winding to winding fault, we have a winding to ground fault, and we have bushing fault. So mainly in case of transformer, three types of fault will occur: winding to winding, winding to ground, and bushing fault. Out of these three fault, what will happen? The windings of the transformer get damaged, and hence when the winding will get damaged, it will adversely affect to breakdown of the transformer. So you can see a flash will occur, your transformer will get damaged. Protection methods: what are the various protection schemes we can adopt in order to protect the transformer? We are using fuses, we are using overcurrent relays, we are using differential relays. So what do you mean by this fuse? What do you mean by this overcurrent relay? What do you mean by this differential relay? That we are also discussing in coming lectures. So here you can see the transformer protection by using fuse, pictorial representation. These are all the graphs. Here we can use overcurrent relay so that your transformer gets protected by the overcurrent, and how this will happen I will tell you later on. This is again the transformer protection. So all these diagrams will show how the transformer will get protected against the faults. Okay, so next will be, we have a line protection that we will discuss in our next lecture. Now today we have covered the two important components that will be used in power system. One is generator, what type of fault occur in the generator and how we protect our generator against this fault. And number two will be the transformer. This transformer plays a very, very important role in generating part, transmission part, grid part. What type of various faults occur in the transformer and how this transformer can be protected with the help of protection devices, like we can use a fuse, we can use overcurrent relay, we can use differential relays. Okay, so now anybody having any doubt related to today's lecture, only between generator and transformer we will take it out, and rest other equipments we will discuss in next classes. Okay, bache? Yeah, anybody having any doubt, he or she can ask me now.
आपने बोला ना जनरेटर, सर जनरेटर में जो वाटर कूलिंग
होती है, I'm not getting the voice, please repeat the question.
सर जो जनरेटर आपने बोला ना इसके अंदर वाटर कूलिंग होती है, सर ये जनरेटर के अंदर ही होती है?
जनरेटर के बाहर, मतलब जनरेटर के अंदर नहीं हम कह सकते, जनरेटर की वाइंडिंग के बाहर से एक हाउस पाइप होती है, उस हाउस पाइप में आप लोगों का आइस कूल्ड वाटर फ्लो कर रहा होता है। इनसाइड द जनरेटर नहीं होता, लेकिन जनरेटर के रोटर के डायामीटर के पेरिफेरी पे हम लोगों ने एक हाउसिंग पाइप लगाई होती है, उस हाउसिंग पाइप में ये सारा आपका आइस सेपरेटेड वाटर जो है फ्लो कर रहा होता है, सो दैट जितनी भी हीट आपकी जनरेट हो, जब आपका जनरेटर रोटेट कर रहा हो, तो जितनी भी हीट आपकी जनरेट हो, तो वो हीट आपके कॉन्टैक्ट में आए आइस कूल्ड वाटर से, और आइस कूल्ड वाटर की वजह से आपका जो जनरेटर का जो टेम्परेचर वो लोअर डाउन हो जाए और जनरेटर आपका अच्छे से काम कर सके। या विनायक, यू हैव अ क्वेश्चन, यू हैव रेज योर हैंड।
सर आपने बुशिंग्स बताया ना अभी, एक ऑप्शन था इसमें बुशिंग्स का।
Bushing,
तो
bushing there is not an option, there is a you can say that the part or the component of the transformer. बुशिंग
सर मैंने ना पावर सिस्टम में भी बहुत बार सुना है ये बुशिंग सर, पता नहीं है बट क्या होता है।
See, bushings are different equipments have different type of bushings available. Something you can say that in case of a generator and a motor, there are also bushing present there. In case of transformer, there is also bushing present. So this bushing is basically nomenclature that there are used in n number of devices. In transformer bushings क्या होता है, जब भी हमारा ट्रांसफॉर्मर होता है उसके जो टॉप पे हम लोगों ने 3 बुशिंग्स लगाई होती हैं. आप एक बुशिंग को ट्रांसफॉर्मर के केस में इस तरीके से समझ सकते हो कि ट्रांसफॉर्मर के टॉप पे हम लोगों ने 3 टर्मिनल्स लगाए होते हैं. वो जो 3 टर्मिनल्स होते हैं वो आपके आर बाई बी हैं. 3 फेज ट्रांसफॉर्मर है, आर बाई बी के 3 फेज के 3 कंडक्टर्स हैं. उन कंडक्टर्स के साथ हम लोग क्या करते हैं, अपनी ट्रांसमिशन लाइंस को कनेक्ट करते हैं. सो ट्रांसफॉर्मर और ट्रांसमिशन लाइंस को इन दोनों को आपस में शॉर्ट सर्किट को रोकने के लिए वी आर यूजिंग अ बुशिंग, एंड इस बुशिंग के ऊपर हम लोगों ने इंसुलेटर्स लगाए होते हैं. So in short, you can say that bushing is basically the conductor which connect between the transmission line as well as the transformer की वजह से.
ठीक है सर.
Clear है? कोई डाउट बचे और किसी को?
क्लियर है सर.
Okay, fine. So this is about how to protect what type of fault occur in the generator and how you can protect the generator against these fault by using certain switchgear devices. And what do you mean by this transformer? What are the various fault occur in the transformer and how you protect your transformer against the fault condition? So in next lecture, we will discuss about the transmission line and next auxiliary equipments. Okay, fine. So just a minute.